Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats as tonight's performance is about to begin.
You know, it's strange to start a play about kings and cardinals. With me. I mean, a king starting a play, we'd have a fancy costume. An intellectual, loads of fancy words. But this? This is a costume? I'll tell you, if she'd let me come out here naked like I wanted to, I would have showed you something that didn't need no words, I can tell you. Anyway, I need a costume. Hurry up, girl. I seen the state of that kitchen this morning. It was terrible.
Yes, sir.
Buck your ideas up, girl.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Be gone. Matthew, household steward to Sir Thomas More. All right, the common man. Ah, we have company to dinner. A 16th century butler. Oh, that's... That's Sir Thomas More.
The wine, please, Matthew.
It's here, sir.
Is it good?
Bless you, sir, I wouldn't know.
Bless you.
But yes, Sir Thomas, every man has his price.
Master Richard Rich.
And yes, in money too.
No, no, no.
Well, in pleasures, bricks and mortar, titles, women, there's always something.
But that's childish.
Well, in suffering, certainly.
What, buy a man with suffering?
No, impose suffering, and then offer him escape.
For a moment there, I thought you were being profound.
And good evening, Matthew.
Evening, sir.
No, not a bit profound. It then becomes purely a practical question of how do you make somebody suffer sufficiently?
You should tell me, who introduced you to the writings of Machiavelli? Come on, tell me who.
Well, Master Cromwell.
Oh, Cromwell. He's a very able fellow.
Yes, he is. And he's going to do something for me, he says.
I didn't know that you knew him.
Well, forgive me, Sir Thomas, but what do you know about me?
Well, what you've let me know.
I've let you know everything.
Richard, you're deteriorating. You should go back to Cambridge.
Well, I'm not used. Do you know what I have to show for 7 months' work?
Work?
Yes, work. Waiting's work when you wake like I have. Hard. 7 months, that's 200 days. And what do I have to show for it? Half of a good morning delivered by the Duke of Norfolk at 50 paces. Wow. And he probably mistook me for somebody else.
He was very affable at dinner.
Oh, everyone's affable here, Sir Thomas. Of course, I could say I have the friendship of Sir Thomas More, or should I just say acquaintance?
No, you should say friendship.
Ah, well, there we have it then. A friend of Sir Thomas More and still no office. There must be something wrong with him.
I thought we said friendship. The Dean of St. Paul's is offering a post, a house, a servant, £50 a year.
A post? Well, what post?
Well, at the new school.
Oh, a teacher.
Richard, a man should go where he won't be tempted. Look. See this?
Why, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's Italian. Do you want it? I mean, no joke. You can keep it.
Oh, why, thank you.
Or sell it.
Thank you.
You're going to sell it, aren't you?
Yes, I think I will.
And buy what?
Or some decent clothes. I'd like a gown like yours.
I should think you'll buy several with that. You know, people get given all sorts of things in office, you know, Richard. You should become a teacher. I mean, you could be a fine teacher, perhaps even a great one.
And if I was, who would know it?
Well, you, your pupils, your friends, God. I mean, that's not a bad public, and you'd have a quiet life.
You say that.
I was commanded into office. It was inflicted upon me. Should be a teacher.
The Duke of Norfolk, a lord.
I tell you, he stooped from the clouds. Alice!
Lady Alice, my master's wife.
I tell you, he stooped.
He didn't.
God damn it, he did.
Couldn't.
He does.
Not possible.
But often, well.
Never.
Well, damn my soul. Thank you, Jane.
Ah, Meg, come in.
Lady Margaret, my master's daughter. Lovely. Lovely.
Matthew, get about your business.
That's right.
We'll settle this, my lord. We'll put it to Thomas. Thomas, no falcon could stoop from a cloud, could it?
I don't know, my dear. I've seen some pretty splendid things in the past. I'm sure a falcon could do that.
Well, how could he stoop from a cloud? He couldn't see where he was going.
You see, Alice, you're ignorant of the subject. A real falcon doesn't care where he's going. If you could ride, Alice, I'd show you.
I can ride, my lord.
No. You'll make yourself ill. Master Rich here is newly converted to the doctrines of Machiavelli.
Oh, no.
Oh, the Italian. Nasty book from what I hear.
Oh, it's very practical, Your Grace.
Oh, you've read it? Amazing girl, Thomas. Where are you going to find a husband for her?
Yes, we're indeed.
The doctrines of Machiavelli have largely been misunderstood, I believe. In fact, when properly apprehended, he has no doctrine. Master Cromwell has it, I
You
think.
know Cromwell,
Slightly, Your Grace.
the Cardinal's secretary. No, it's a fact.
Well, when?
2-3 days.
A farrier's son?
Cardinal's a butcher's son, isn't he?
Well, it'll be up quick and down quick with Master Cromwell.
Oh,
Did you know this?
No?
Do you like Master Cromwell, Master Rich?
Well, he's the only man in London, if he does.
Well, in fact, I think I do, Lady Alice, yes.
Talking to the Cardinal's secretary, and the Cardinal appears. Oh, he wants me. Now.
This time of night?
Well, it's the King's business.
The Queen's business.
more than likely, Alice, more than likely.
What's the time?
11 o'clock, sir.
Is there a boat?
Waiting, sir.
Right. Well, you will excuse me. You must go to bed.
Dear Lord,
give
us rest tonight, or if we must be wakeful, cheerful, careful only for our soul salvation. For Christ's sake. Amen.
And bless our Lord the King.
And
Bless our Lord the King. Amen.
Oh, are you at Richmond, Howard?
No, down the river.
Oh, well, good night then. Oh, the young man here looking for employment, something in the administration line.
Well, if you recommend him.
No, I don't recommend him. I just point him out to you.
All right,
He's had the new in. Perhaps he could come with you.
all right, come on.
My lord?
We'll hawk at Hounslow, Alice.
Wherever you wish. Good night.
Good night.
Sir Thomas, thank you.
Richard, be a teacher. Thank you, Margaret. Now, you must go to bed. I'll do it.
Okay. It was a gift, Matthew.
That's
Sir Thomas gave it to me.
very nice present, sir.
Yes.
Master Thomas has taken quite a fancy to you, sir.
Yes, he has. Good night, Matthew.
Thank you, sir. That one will come to nothing. You know, my master, Sir Thomas More, he'd give anything to anyone. Some say that's good, some say that's bad. I say he can't help it. And that's bad. You see, someday someone's going to come along who wants something off him, and he'll be out of practice. I mean, there must be something he wants. That's only common sense.
It's 1:30. Where have you been?
It's 1 o'clock, Your Grace. I've been on the river.
Since you seem so violently opposed to the Latin dispatch, I thought you'd like to look it over
It's very kind, Your Grace.
before it goes.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Well, what do you think of it?
It seems very well phrased.
The devil it does. And aside from the style, Sir Thomas?
I think we should have shown the council before it goes to Italy.
Would you show the council? Yes, I do believe you would. You're a constant regret to me, Thomas. A constant regret. If you could just see facts flat on, without that moral squint, with just a little common sense, you could have been a statesman.
Your Grace flatters me.
Don't frivol. Thomas, are you going to help me?
If Your Grace could be specific.
Oh, you're a plodder. Take you all together, Thomas. Your scholarship, your experience. What are you? The king. Come here. Where has he been? Do you know?
Your Grace.
Oh, spare me your discretion, Thomas. He's been to play in the muck again.
Indeed.
Indeed, indeed. Are you going to oppose me? He's gone in. All right, we'll plod. The king wants a son. What are you going to do about it?
I don't think the king needs any advice from me as to what to do about it, Your Grace.
Thomas, we're alone. I give you my word, there's no one here.
Well, I didn't suppose there was, Your Grace.
you favour a change of dynasty, Sir Thomas? Do you think 2 Tudors is sufficient?
For God's sake, Your Grace.
Then the king needs a son. I repeat, what are you going to do about it?
I pray for it daily, Your Grace.
God's death, he means it. And that thing out there's at least fertile, Thomas.
But she is not his wife.
No, Catherine's his wife, and she's barren as a brick. Are you going to pray for a miracle?
There are precedents.
Yes, all right, good, pray. Pray by all means, but in addition to prayer, there is effort, my efforts to secure a divorce. Now, do I have your support, or do I not?
A special dispensation was given so the king could marry Queen Catherine by the Pope. Are we now to go back to the Pope and ask him to dispense with his dispensation again for state reasons?
I don't like plodding, Thomas. Don't make me plod longer than I have to. Well?
Well, clearly all we have to do is go back to His Holiness and ask him.
I think we might influence His Holiness's answer.
Like this.
And in other ways.
You already know my opinion on this.
Then good night. Oh, your conscience is your own affair, Thomas. But you are a statesman. Do you remember the Yorkist Wars?
It's only too clearly.
Let him die without an heir, and we will have them back again. Let him die without an heir, and this peace you think so highly of will go out like that. Very well. England needs an heir. Now, certain measures, perhaps regrettable, perhaps not. I mean, there's much in the church that needs reformation, Thomas. All right, regrettable, but necessary to get us an heir. Now explain to me how you, as a counsellor of England, can obstruct these measures for the sake of your own private conscience.
I believe that when statesmen forsake their private conscience for the sake of public duty, they lead their country down a very short route to chaos. We shall have my prayers to fall back on.
You'd like that, wouldn't you, to govern the country by prayer? I'd like to be there when you try.
Yes, I should.
Oh, who will see with all this paper when I'm after me? I mean, is it you, Fisher, Suffolk?
Well, for me, it's Fisher.
Well, for the king, what about my secretary, Master Cromwell?
Cromwell.
You'd rather do it yourself?
Well, yes, me rather than Cromwell.
Then come down to earth, and until then, allow for an enemy. Here,
As your grace pleases.
as God wills.
Perhaps your grace.
More, you should have been a cleric.
Like yourself, your grace. Boat? Boat?
Yes, sir.
Ah, boatman.
Yes, sir.
You take me home.
Boatman. I was just going home myself, sir.
Well, can you find me another boat?
Oh, bless you, sir. That's all right. I'm sure you'll make it worth my while. Yes, sir, I do have a licence.
Well, you know the fares are fixed. Oh, why? It's Sir Thomas.
Good morning, Master Cromwell. You work very late?
I'm on my way to the Cardinal.
Ah,
You have just left him, I think.
yes, you're right.
You left him in his laughing mood, I hope.
On the whole, I would say not. No. No, not laughing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am one of your multitudinous admirers, Sir Thomas. Penny halfpenny to Chelsea, boatman.
The coming man, they say, sir.
Do they? Show me to your boat.
Just along the wharf, sir.
Sir Thomas More?
Ah, Your Excellency, Signor Chapuis. You're working very late.
As is the Cardinal, Sir Thomas.
He doesn't sleep very well.
You have just left him, I think.
You are correctly informed, as always.
Well, I will not ask the subject of your conversations.
No, of course not.
Sir Thomas, let me be plain as diplomatic decencies will permit. My master Charles, the King of Spain, feels himself concerned with anything concerning a blood relation. He himself would feel insulted by any insult offered to Queen Catherine.
Well, his feeling would be natural.
May I ask, did you and the Cardinal part, well, how shall we say, amicably?
Amicably, yes.
What, in agreement?
Amicably, yes.
Say no more, Sir Thomas. I understand.
I hope you do, Your Excellency.
You are a good man.
I don't see how you deduce that from what I've just said.
I understand. Dominus vobiscum.
Spiritu tuo.
You know, sir, people seem to think that boats stay afloat on their own. They don't, you know. They cost money. And me with a young wife, sir, as you know.
I will pay you what I always pay you.
Bless you, sir.
The river looks very black tonight. Take me home.
This way, sir. That will. Richmond to Chelsea, downstream, penny 80.
Ah, Matthew. Thank you. Is Lady Alice in bed?
Yes, sir.
What about Lady Margaret?
No, sir. Master Roper's here.
Well, this hour? Who lets him in?
He's a hard man to keep out, sir.
Where are they now?
Father.
Ah, Roper, it's a little early for breakfast, isn't it?
Oh, I haven't come for breakfast, sir.
Will wants to marry me, Father.
Well, he can't.
But, Sir Thomas, I've been called to the bar.
Well, congratulations, Roper.
My family may not be in the palace, sir, but in the city.
Ropers were advocates when the Moors were still selling pewter. There's nothing wrong with your family. There's nothing wrong with your fortune. There's nothing wrong with you. Except you need to get a clock.
Well, I can buy a clock, sir.
Roper, the answer's no and will be no while you are still a heretic.
That's a word I don't like, Sir Thomas.
Well, it's not a likable word. It's not a likable thing.
The church is heretical. Dr. Luther's proved that to my satisfaction.
Luther's an excommunicate.
From a heretic church. Church. It's a shop. Forgiveness by the florin. Job lots in Germany. Oh, and divorces.
Divorces?
Yes. Half England's buzzing with that.
Half England. The Inns of Court might be buzzing, but I think England doesn't buzz quite so easily.
It will.
You have no sense of place.
You have no sense of the tie.
Sir Thomas.
No, Roper. 2 years ago, you were a passionate churchman. Now you're a passionate Lutheran. You know, let's just pray that when your head stops spinning, your face is to the front again.
Don't lengthen your prayers with me,
Oh,
sir.
one more or less, won't matter. Is your horse here?
No, I walked, sir.
Right, we'll take one from the stable and get along home. Go on.
May I come again, sir?
Yes, soon.
Good night, sir.
Father, Is that final?
As long as he's a heretic, I'm afraid that's absolute. I mean, he's a nice boy, terribly strong principles. Let him think he's going with the current and turn around and start swimming in the opposite direction. I mean, what we must really hope for is a substantial attack on the church.
Well, we're going to get one, aren't we, Father?
I will not hear you talk treason. And I will not hear you repeat lawyers' gossip. I'm a lawyer and I know what that's worth. Oh no, look what you've done.
Young Roper! I have just seen young Roper on my horse!
He'll bring it back in the morning. He was here to see Margaret.
Oh, why don't you beat that girl?
Oh, no. She's far too full of education. That's a delicate commodity.
More's the pity.
Oh, I'm sorry I woke you, chick.
I wasn't sleeping too deeply. Thomas, what did Wolsey want?
Did you know that young Roper's asked for Margaret?
What?
Yes.
Impudence!
Isn't it?
Old fox. What did he want, Thomas?
Oh, he wanted me to see some dispatch.
Is that all?
Oh, some Latin dispatch.
Oh. Won't you talk about it?
No.
Norfolk was speaking for you as Chancellor before he left.
Oh, well, Norfolk's a dangerous friend. Wolsey's Chancellor, God help him. We don't need another one. No, I don't need this, honestly.
Drink it. Great men get colds in the head just the same as commoners.
That is levelling talk, Alice. Beware the tower. Oh, all right. I'll take it to bed with me.
Did you want to be Chancellor, Father?
No.
Well, that's what I said, but Norfolk said that if Wolsey fell, that you'd...
If Wolsey fell, the splash would just sink a few small boats like ours. There'll be no new Chancellor while Wolsey lives.
Wolsey died at Leicester on the 28th of November, 1530, on his way to the Tower under a charge of high treason. The next Lord Chancellor was Sir Thomas More. He was a scholar, and many people thought he was a saint. Well, he seemed indifferent to the dangers round about him. Who knows, maybe he was a saint.
Rich, what brings you to Hampton?
I came with the Duke last night. They're hunting again.
'Tis a kingly pastime, Master Rich. I'm glad you found employment. Let's see, it's the Duke's secretary that you are, is it not?
Oh, yes, my work is mostly secretarial.
Or is it his librarian that you are?
I do look after His Grace's books, yes.
Well, at least that's something. I don't imagine you're bothered much by His Grace in the library.
No.
It's odd, isn't it, how men's fortunes flow? My late master died in disgrace, and yet here I am in the King's own service. And there you are in a comparative backwater. And the new Lord Chancellor's an old friend of yours.
Oh, well, he's not exactly a friend.
Oh, I thought he was...
No, sorry, yes, I suppose in a way he is.
I always understood that he set you up in life.
Forgive me, Master Cromwell, but what is it that you do for the king?
Yes, I'd like to know that, Master Cromwell.
Senor Chapuis. You've met the Spanish ambassador, Rich? The Duke of Norfolk's librarian.
And how should we introduce you, Master Cromwell, if we had the happiness?
Oh, sly. Notice how sly he is, Rich. Well, I suppose you would call me the king's ear. A useful organ, the ear, but it's even simpler than that. When the king wants something done, I do it.
For example, Master Cromwell.
Beware these professional diplomats. Well, for example, next week at Dartford, we're launching the Great Harry. 1,000 tons, 4 masts, 66 guns. But what you may not know is that the king himself will be her pilot. Yes, the king himself will guide her down the river. These innocent fancies require more preparation than you might suppose, and somebody has to do it. Meanwhile, I do prepare myself for higher things. I stock my mind.
Alas, Master Cromwell, don't we all? I mean, this ship, for instance, it only has 56 guns and not 66, and only 40 of them heavy. Now, I understand after the launching, the king will take his barge to Chelsea.
Oh,
to
yes,
Sir Thomas More's. Yes. Will you be there?
Oh, no. They'll discuss the king's divorce. The king will ask him for an answer.
But he has given his answer.
The king will ask him for another.
Sir Thomas is a good son of the church.
Sir Thomas is a man.
Is that not his steward now?
I do believe it is. Well, good day, Your Excellency.
Yes, good day, Master
day.
Cromwell.
Sir Thomas doesn't like to talk about it. He doesn't talk about it to his wife, sir.
This is worth nothing.
But he doesn't talk about it to Lady Margaret, sir. That's his daughter, sir.
So?
So he's worried, sir. He's frightened, sir. Sir, he goes white at the mention of it.
Oh, all right.
Oh. Thank you, sir.
Are you coming my way, Rich?
No.
I really think you should, you know.
Why? When I can't tell you anything.
Sir Thomas rises at 6 and prays for an hour and a half.
Yes.
During Lent, sir, he survived entirely on bread and water.
Yes.
He goes to confession, sir, twice a week. Parish priest Dominican.
Yes. Sir Thomas is a true son of the church.
That he is, sir.
Yes, but what did Master Cromwell want?
Same as you, sir.
That no man can serve two masters, steward.
No, sir, and I serve only one.
Good, simple man. Here.
Oh, bless you, sir.
Peace be with you.
And with you, sir.
And may the Lord watch over you.
You too, sir. That's a very religious man, that.
Matthew.
Sir?
What did Senor Chapuis want?
No idea, sir. Oh, bless you, sir.
What did you tell him?
I told him that Sir Thomas says his prayers and goes to confession, sir.
Well, why did you tell him that?
Well, that's what you wanted to know, sir. I mean, I could have told him anything about Sir Thomas. He likes red wine instead of white wine, but that's what he wanted to know.
And what did he say?
He said that Sir Thomas is a good churchman, sir.
Well, that's true, isn't it?
I'm only telling you what he said, sir. Master Cromwell went that way, sir.
Did I ask you where Cromwell went?
The great thing is not to get out your depth. I mean, what I can tell them is common knowledge. But now they're paying money for it, and everybody wants value for their money. So they make it dangerous by making it a secret. Oh, and when my feet can't touch the bottom, I will go deaf, blind, and dumb. And that is more money than I've earned in a fortnight.
sign of him, my lord.
God's body, Alice, he must be found.
He must be in the house.
Oh, he's not in the house, Mother.
Well, then he must be somewhere here in the garden.
He takes things too far, Alice.
Do I not know it?
It will end badly for him.
I know that too, my lord.
Where's your master?
Master Thomas.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Thomas.
Yes, fool, and if the king arrives and the chancellor's not here...
It's not my fault.
Oh, Matthew.
Lady Alice, Thomas
I
will
don't
get
know where
no
it's
good
gone.
of it. This is not how
Sir?
Wolsey made himself great.
Sir?
Thomas has his own way of doing things, my
Sir?
lord.
Yes, Thomas is unique, but where is Thomas?
Oh,
Sir?
Father.
My lord, chancellor.
Sir!
What sort of fooling is this? Does the king visit you every day?
No, but I go to Vespers most days.
He's here.
I thought this was meant to be a surprise visit.
For you, yes, not for him.
Oh, Father.
Oh,
Yes, you propose to meet the king disguised as a parish clerk. You dishonour the king and his office.
The service of God is no dishonour to any office. Believe me, my friend, I do not dishonour or I do belittle the great honour His Majesty is doing me. It's all right.
Oh,
Calm
Thomas!
yourself. Look, we're ready now. There. Your Majesty does me more honour than I fear my household can bear.
No ceremony, Thomas. No ceremony. A passing fancy. I happen to be on the river. Look, mud.
We do that with style when we come by the road, Your Majesty.
The road. There is the road for me, Thomas. The river. My river. By heavens, what an evening. I fear we come upon you unexpected, Lady Alice.
Oh, no, Your Grace. That is... Yes, but we are ready for you. Ready to receive Your Grace, that is.
This is my daughter, Lady Margaret. She hasn't had the honour of meeting Your Grace.
Why, Margaret, they told me you were a scholar.
Answer, Margaret.
Among women, I pass for one, Your Grace.
Antigone modo latine and oxoniensi.
Quem docuit parte, Domine.
Ah, bene, optimus est. Grecamne linguam coque te docuit.
Grecame non pater, mea sib me patris amicos, Johannes Colitus Sancti Pauli Decanos. In literis Grecus tamen non minus quam litanus, as magistri minuta de stipulis disitiae.
Ah! Take care, Thomas. There's no ending to the making of books, and too much reading is a weariness to the flesh. Can you dance too?
Not well, Your Grace.
Ah! Well, I dance superlatively. That is a dancer's leg, Margaret. Hey, Norfolk? Ah, now, that is a wrestler's leg. But I can throw him. Shall I?
Oh, no, Your Grace.
You are gentle. That is good. You shall read to me. Lady Alice, I fear the rivers give me an appetite.
If Your Grace would share a very simple supper.
It would please me to. I'm something of a scholar myself, did you know?
All the world knows Your Grace's book, Asserting the Seven Sacraments of the Church.
Yes, well, between ourselves, your father had a hand in that, eh, Thomas?
Here and there, in a minor capacity, Your Grace.
He seeks to shame me with his modesty. On second thoughts, we will follow, Lady Alice. Thomas and I will follow. I brought them with me. Take them in. I launched a ship today, Thomas.
Yes, Your Grace.
Mr. Manderson. The great Harry. I steered her, Thomas, under sail.
You have many accomplishments, Your
A
Grace.
great experience.
Yes, Your Grace.
Oh, I am a fool.
How so, Your Grace?
What else but a fool? To live in a court in a licentious mob when I have friends with gardens.
Your Grace is very, very welcome.
No courtship, no ceremony. Thomas, be seated. You are my friend, are you not?
Your Majesty.
And thank God I have a friend for my chancellor.
readier to be my friend, I trust, than he was to be my Chancellor.
I am only too aware of my poor abilities, Your Grace.
I will be the judge of your abilities. Did you know that Wolsey named you for Chancellor?
Wolsey?
Aye, Wolsey. Before he died, he named you. And Wolsey was no fool.
He was a statesman of incomparable ability, Your Grace.
Was he? Was he so? Then why did he fail me? Be seated. It was villainy then. Yes, villainy. I was right to break him. He was all pride, a proud man, pride through, and he failed me. He failed me in the one thing that mattered, Thomas. The one thing that mattered then and now. And why? Because he wanted to be Pope. Touching on this matter of my divorce, have you had any more thoughts since we last spoke?
Little else, Your Grace.
Then you see your way clear to me.
That of putting away Queen Catherine. Alas, Your Grace, when I think of it, I see quite clearly that I cannot come with Your Grace. And so I endeavour not to think of it at all.
Great God, Thomas, why do you hold out against me in the desire of my heart, the very wick of my heart?
Here is my right arm, Your Grace. Take your dagger and saw it off, and I will come laughingly and thankfully if by that means I can come with a clear conscience.
I know it, Thomas. I know it.
I crave your pardon, Your Grace.
Speak then.
When I took up the Great Seal, your Majesty promised that you would not pursue me on this matter.
Ah! Then I do break my word, Master Moore. No, I'm joking. I joke roughly. Sometimes think I am a rough fellow. You must consider, Thomas, that I stand in peril of my soul. It was no marriage. She was my brother's widow. Leviticus, thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 16.
Yes, Your Grace, but Deuteronomy says
Deuteronomy's ambiguous.
Grace, I fear I am not capable to meddle in these matters. I fear it is a matter for the Holy See.
Oh, Thomas, does a man need a pope to tell him when he has sinned? It was a sin, Thomas. I admit it. I repent. And I have paid for it. I have no son. Son after son she has borne me, Thomas. All dead at birth. Or dead within a month. I never saw the hand of God so clear in anything. I have a daughter. She's a good child. She's a well-set child, but I have no son. It is my bounden duty to put away the Queen. And all the popes back to St. Peter's shall not come between me and my duty. How is it you do not see? Everyone else does.
Well, then why do you need my poor support?
Because you are honest. What's more to the point, you are known to be honest. There are those like Norfolk who follow me because I wear a crown. And there are those like Master Cromwell who follow me because they are jackals with sharp teeth and I am their lion. And there is a whole mass that follows me because they will follow anything that moves. And there is you.
I'm sick to think how much I must displease Your Grace.
Oh, Thomas, I respect your sincerity. Respect? Oh, man, it is water in the desert. Tell me, what did you think of our music? That air they played had a certain sort of... Well, tell me what you thought.
Could it have been Your Grace's own?
Ah, discovered. No, I would never know the truth. And that's irksome, Thomas, for we artists, though we love praise, yet we love truth the better.
Yeah. I will tell you truthfully what I thought of it.
Speak then.
To me, I thought it was delightful.
Oh, Thomas, I chose the right man for Chancellor.
But to be fair and honest, my taste in music is reputedly deplorable.
Your taste in music is excellent. It exactly coincides with my own. Ah, music. music. Send them all off without me, Thomas. I will live here in Chelsea and make music.
My house is at your Grace's disposal.
Yes. Touching on this other business, mark you, I will have no objections.
Your Grace.
No objections, I say, no objections. Your conscience is your own affair, but you are my Chancellor. There, you have my word. I will leave you out of it, but I do not take it kindly, Thomas, and I will have no objections. I see how it will be. The priests will turn against me. They're all hypocrites. But I will have no objections.
Your Grace is unjust. I am your Grace's true subject. If I cannot help you in this great matter of the Queen...
I have no queen! Catherine is not my wife, and no priest can make her so. And anyone who says otherwise is not only a liar, but a traitor. Mark that, Thomas.
Am I a babbler, your Grace?
You are stubborn. If you would only come with me. You are the man I would most, yes, raise with my own hand.
Your Grace overwhelms me.
What is that?
Oh, it's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, you say? The tide will be turning. I was forgetting about the tide. I'd better be going.
Oh,
If I
forgive
do
me,
not
your
get
Grace.
back to Richmond before the tide turns. No, don't come. Tell Norfolk. Lady Alice, I must go. I was forgetting about the tide. To speak truth, Lady Alice, I was forgetting in your haven here how time flows past outside. Matters call me to court, and so I must give you my thanks and say good night.
Good night, Your Grace.
Good night, your Grace.
What's this? You crossed him.
Somewhat.
Why?
I couldn't find another way.
Thomas, you're too nice altogether.
Woman, you will mind your house.
I am minding my house.
But Alice, what did you want me to do?
Be ruled. If you won't rule him, be ruled.
I cannot or neither would rule my king. But there's just a little area where I must rule myself. Look, it was 8 o'clock. Lady Anne likes to dance.
And you stand between them.
Aye. No, it's not me. It's the sacrament of the church that stands between them. I am less important than you think.
Thomas, stay friends with him.
Whatever can be done with smiling, you can rely on me to do that.
You don't know how to flatter. I wish he'd eaten here.
Yes. We should be living on that simple supper for the next fortnight. Alice. Alice. Rest yourself. Be at peace. This is not what martyrs are made of.
Sir Thomas.
Oh dear. You're still here. Were you with the King's party?
No, sir, I wasn't with the King's party. It's actually of the matter I came to speak to you, sir. My spirit is perturbed.
Is it Will? Why?
Well, I've been offered a place in the next Parliament. Ought I to take it?
Oh, well, no. That depends. Considering your views on the church, I should think you could do yourself a lot of good in the next Parliament.
My views on the church, sir. I must confess, since last we met, my views have somewhat modified. Of course, I'm one for nothing concerning the body of the church. The money changers in the temple must be scourged. But an attack on the church itself, no, I see behind that an attack on God.
Roper.
The devil's work.
Roper.
To be done by the devil's ministers.
Remember my office.
Oh, if you stand on your office, sir.
I don't stand on my office, but there are certain things that I may not hear.
Sophistication. That's what I was told. The court has corrupted you, Sir Thomas. You are not the man you were. You have learnt to study your convenience. You have learnt to flatter.
You see, I have a reputation, Alice.
God's body, young man, if I was Chancellor, I'd have you whipped.
Master Richard Richards here, sir.
Good evening, Sir Thomas.
Richard.
Lady Alice, Lady Margaret.
Good evening, Master Rich.
I don't know whether you have met young William Roper here.
No, but I know him by reputation, of course.
Good evening, Master.
Rich.
Yeah. Aaron.
You've heard of me?
Yes.
In what connection? Can't imagine what you might have heard. Oh, I sense I'm not welcome here.
Why, Richard, have you done something that would make you not feel welcome?
Oh, do you suspect me of it?
Well, no, but I shall begin to.
Master Cromwell, he's asking questions about you. About you particularly. He's constantly collecting information about you.
I know. Stay where you are, Matthew.
Well, that's one of his sources.
Yes. It's one of my servants.
And Senor Chapuis, the Imperial Ambassador.
Yes, is also collecting information. That is part of his function.
And you look at me as if I'm an enemy.
Why? Richard, you're shaking.
I'm adrift. Help me.
Well, how?
Employ me.
No.
I would be steadfast for you.
Richard, you couldn't answer for yourself even so far as tonight.
Arrest that man!
Yes, arrest him.
What for?
He's dangerous.
For libel! He's a spy!
He is. Arrest him.
Father, that man's bad.
Yes, but there's no law against that.
There is. God's law.
Well, let God arrest him. The law, Roper, the law. I know what's legal and not what's right, and I will stick with what's legal.
Then you set man's law above God's.
Well, no, far below. But let me point out one thing. I am not God. The currents and eddies of what is right and wrong, which you find such plain sailing, I cannot navigate. But in the thickets of the law, I doubt if there's a man that alive that would be able to find me there.
And while you talk, he is gone.
Well, yes, and so he should if he were the devil himself until he broke the law.
Oh, so now you give the devil benefit of the law?
Well, yes, what would you do? Cut down a road through the law to get to the devil.
I cut down every law in England to do that.
And when every law was down and the devil comes after you, Roper, where would you hide? All the laws being flattened. This country is thick with laws from coast to coast. Man's laws, not God's. And if you cut them down and you are just the man to do that, do you think you'll be able to stand up in the winds that would blow? Yes. I would give the devil the benefit of the law for my own safety's sake.
I see it now, sir. This is the golden calf. The Lord's your God.
Roper, you are a fool. God is my God. But he's a little too subtle. I don't know what he wants or where he is.
My God wants service. to the end and unremitting. Nothing else.
You sure that's God? I tell you, whoever comes hunting after me, whether it be God or the devil, will find me hiding in the thickets of the law. But I will hide my daughter with me.
Hide you? Hide you from what?
Well, he said nothing about hiding me, you notice.
Oh, you know he meant both of us, Mother.
But from what?
I don't know. I don't think he knows. He's not said one simple, direct word to me since his whole divorce came up.
Roper, that was harsh. Your principles are excellent. Now, come on. We'll make a start on that food.
Can't you be plain with us, Father?
I stand on the wrong side of no statute or common law. I have not disobeyed my sovereign. I truly believe that there is no man alive in this country safer than myself. Now I want my supper. Well, you're going to help us. There's an excellent burgundy in the next room, if your principles will permit.
They don't, sir.
Why does Cromwell collect information about you?
Oh, because I'm a prominent figure. There's someone somewhere collecting information on him. Now, no shirking. There's a stuffed swan, if you please.
The loyal subject, a pub, a publican. He's a deep one, that, Sir Thomas More. Deep. Takes a lot of education to get a man as deep as that. And deep nature to begin with. I mean, the likes of me can hardly be expected to follow the processes of a man like that. Can we? Right, let's see. Okie dokie. Yeah, okay. Oh, good. Right, sir. Ready, sir?
Oh, is this a good place for a conspiracy, innkeeper?
You asked for a private room, sir.
Yes, I wanted one without too many little dark corners.
Only the four corners as you can see, sir.
Yeah.
Didn't understand it.
Sorry? Don't understand. You don't understand?
No, sir.
You don't understand me?
No, sir. That's right, sir.
Don't be... Sorry? Do you know who I am?
No, sir.
Don't be too tactful, innkeeper.
I just don't understand, sir.
When the likes of you begin to be too tactful, the likes of me begin to wonder who's the fool.
I just don't understand, sir.
Master statesman of us all, I don't understand. All right. Get out.
Thank you, sir.
Come on. Yes, I may be a little intoxicated, but not with alcohol, with success. And who has a strong head for success? None of us gets enough of it, except for kings and their born drunk.
Success? What success?
Guess.
Collector of revenues for York.
Ha! You do keep your ear to the ground, don't you? No, better than that.
High Constable?
Better than that.
Better than High Constable.
Much better. Sir Thomas Paget is retiring.
Secretary to the Council?
'Tis astonishing, isn't it?
Oh, no, one can see that it's logical.
No ceremony, no courtship. Be seated, as His Majesty might say. Yes, see how I trust you?
Oh, I would never repeat or report a thing like that.
Ah. What kind of thing would you repeat or report?
Oh, nothing said in friendship. And I may say friendship.
Well, yes, you must. Do you believe that you wouldn't repeat or report anything, etc.?
Yes.
No, but seriously?
Yes.
Seriously rich.
Well, it would depend on what I was offered.
Well, don't just say it to please me.
It's true. It would depend on what I was offered.
Everybody knows it. It's just not many people can say it.
Well, there are some things that people wouldn't do for anything, surely.
Well, congratulations.
On what?
I think you'd make a good collector of revenues for York Diocese.
Is that your gift?
Effectively.
What would I have to do for it?
Oh, nothing. It's not like that. There are no rules with rewards and punishments. So much wickedness purchases so much worldly prospering. Are you sure you're not religious?
Almost sure.
Well, get sure. No, it's not like that. It's much more a matter of convenience. Now, when a man wants to change his woman, you let him, if it's convenient.
Whose convenience?
Oh, ours. Oh, but everybody's too. But in the present instance, the man who wants to change his woman is our sovereign Lord Harry, by the grace of God, the 8th of that name, which is a quaint way of saying that if he wants to change his woman, he will. And it's our job as administrators to make it as convenient as possible. I say our job, on the assumption you'll accept this post at York that I've offered you.
Yes. Yes.
It's a bad sign when people are depressed by their own good fortune.
I'm not depressed.
You look depressed.
I'm lamenting. I've lost my innocence.
You lost that some time ago. If you've only just noticed, it can't have been that important.
Well, no, it couldn't have been.
We experience a sense of release, do we, Master Rich? An unfamiliar freshness in the head, as of open air.
Well, collector of revenues isn't bad.
Not bad for a start. Now, our present Lord Chancellor, there's an innocent man.
Well, that's the thing. He is.
Yes, I say he is. The problem is, his innocence is all tangled up in this proposition that you can't change a woman without a divorce, and you can't get a divorce unless the Pope says so. And although His Current Holiness is a strikingly corrupt old person, he still has this word Pope attached to him. And from this quite meaningless circumstance, I fear some degree of
administrative inconvenience.
Oh, just so. Now, this cup he gave you, how much was it worth? Come along. He gave you a silver cup. What did you get for it?
50 shillings.
Could you take me to the shop?
Yes.
Where did he get it? Come along. It was a gift from a litigant, a woman, wasn't it?
Yes.
In which court? Chancery? No, don't get drunk. In which court was this litigant's case?
The Court of Requests.
Now, that wasn't too painful, was it?
No.
And that's all there is to it. You'll find it easier next time.
What purpose do they serve, these tidbits of information that you collect?
None at all, usually.
But sometimes?
Well, there are these men, steadfast, upright men, who want themselves to be the one constant factor in the situation, which they can't be, because the situation rolls forward in any case.
So what happens next?
Well, if they've any sense, they get out of the way.
And if they have no sense?
Why then? They're only fit for heaven. But Sir Thomas has plenty of sense. He could be frightened.
Don't forget he's an innocent.
I think we'll finish there for tonight. After all, he is the Lord Chancellor.
You've got the wrong man this time, Cromwell. He doesn't know how to be frightened. You've mistaken your man.
Doesn't know how to be frightened? Why then? He never put his hand in a candle, did he?
You enjoyed that. You enjoyed it.
The interval started early in 1530, and now it's the middle of May, 1532. 2 years. A lot of water's flown under the bridge in that time. The Church of England's been achieved, and not by bloodshed, but by a simple act of Parliament. Only an unhappy few were seen to set themselves against the current of their times, and in so doing courted disaster. Imprisonment without trial, examination under torture. These things were common practice.
Do you have to wear those clothes, Will?
Yes, I must.
Yes, but why?
The time has come for decent men to declare their allegiance.
You look like a Spaniard.
All credit to Spain, then.
Well, you would have lasted 6 months in Spain. They would have burnt you alive during your heretic period.
I suppose you have the right to remind me of it. That chain of office you wear is a degradation.
I tell you, if the bishops in convocation submit this morning, I will take it off. This is no degradation. Great men have worn this.
When do you expect to hear from Canterbury?
About now. The Archbishop said he would send me a message immediately.
I don't see what difference convocation can make. The Church is already a wing of the palace, is it not? The King is already its supreme head, is he not?
No.
You are denying the Act of Supremacy?
No, not at all. The Act of Supremacy says that the King
is supreme head of the Church in England.
Supreme head of the King, supreme head of the Church in England, as far as the law of God allows. How far the law of God allows is a matter of opinion.
Very well. A legal quibble.
Well, call it what you may, but it's there, thank God, because the Act doesn't state it.
So, in your opinion, how far does the law of God allow this?
I'll keep my opinion to myself.
Yes, I'll tell you mine.
No, don't. Because if it's what I think it is, it would be high treason. Remember, Will, you have a wife now, and you may have children.
Why must you remember that?
To keep myself discreet.
Right.
Well, I'd rather you forgot it.
You're either children or idiots.
All saints, my lord.
Oh, Father, Signor Chapuis is here to see you.
Your Excellency. Saints, that's it. Let me just have a look. Turn your head, Will. Yes, I do detect a faint radiance.
Come,
Why
my
didn't you
lord.
tell us?
You too at this moment are not free from some suspicion of saintliness.
Oh, I'm not sure whether I like the sound of that. So, tell me, what do you require, Your Excellency? Tell me.
May I not come just to pay my respects to the English Socrates, as your angelic friend Erasmus calls you?
Yes. I shall have to think of something presently to call him.
And anyway, must I require anything? For you and I are both brothers in Christ.
A characteristic we share with all of humanity. You live in Cheapside, Signor. To make contact with a brother in Christ, all you have to do is open the window and empty a chamber pot. You didn't have to come to Chelsea. Will, the Imperial Ambassador is here on official duty. Do you mind?
No, I protest.
No. It's official.
Sir Thomas, how can you allow yourself to be associated with the recent actions of King Henry in respect of Queen Catherine? I mean, the Lord Chancellor is not an ordinary subject. He bears responsibility for what is done.
Have you considered that what has been done badly might have been done worse with another Chancellor?
Sir Thomas, your influence with regard to these policies has been much searched for, and where found, praised. But when the sufferings of one poor unfortunate woman swell to an attack on the religion of an entire country.
What do you want?
Well, it is rumoured that if the Church in convocation submits to the King, you will resign.
I see. And if that rumour were true, would you approve?
Approve, applaud, admire.
But why?
Because it would show that one man, and that man known to be temperate, will have nothing more to do with this wickedness.
That man being the Chancellor of England.
It would send a clear signal.
A signal?
Yes, a signal that would be seen and understood.
Well, by whom?
By half of your fellow countrymen. I've just returned from Northumberland and Yorkshire. I've been on a tour.
Have you indeed?
Yes, and up there things are different. There they are ready.
Well, ready for what?
Resistance.
Sir Thomas! His Grace the Duke of Norfolk! It's all over, sir!
One moment, Roper, I'll do this. Thomas? Oh.
I was just leaving, Your Grace. I was just here on a private matter, to borrow a book, unsuccessfully. So I shall take my leave, gentlemen, ladies.
Sir Thomas.
Yeah, I'll do it, Roper. Convocation's knuckled under, Thomas. They're to pay a fine of £100,000, and we've severed the connection with Rome.
Connection with Rome. Did anyone resist?
Bishop Fisher?
Will you help me with this?
Not I.
Shall I, sir?
No, Will, thank you. Alice.
Hell's fire! God's blood and body! No! Sun and Moon, Master More, you are taken for a wise man. Is it wise to betray your ability, abandon practice, forget your duty to your station and your duty to your kin, and behave like a printed book?
Meg?
If you want.
It's my clever girl.
Well, Thomas, why? Make me understand, because I tell you now, from where I stand, this looks like cowardice.
All right, I'll tell you. This isn't Reformation. This is war on the church. The king has declared war on the Pope because the Pope will not declare that our queen is not his wife.
And is she?
I will answer that question to one person and one person alone, I, the king, and that in private.
All right, we're at war with the Pope.
The theory is he's the vicar of God, descendant of St. Paul, Peter, our only link with Christ.
You're willing to forfeit all you've got, which includes the respect of your country, for a theory?
Yes, the succession of the Pope, yes, it's a theory. But what matters to me is not whether it's true or not, but whether I believe it to be true. Not that I believe it, but that I believe it to be true. I trust I make myself obscure.
Perfectly.
Obscurity is what I need right now. Look, let me ask you, if what we say here is between us two and has no existence outside of these walls.
Very well.
And if the king were to ask you to repeat it,
then I should keep my word to you.
So what has become of your oath of obedience to the king?
You lay traps for me.
No, I show you the times.
Why do you insult me with these lawyers' tricks?
Because I'm afraid.
And here's your answer. The king accepts your resignation very sadly. He is mindful of your goodness and past loyalty, and in all matters concerning your honour and welfare, he will be your good lord. So much for your fear.
You will give him my grateful thanks.
I will. Good day, Alice. I'd rather deal with you than with your husband.
So, that's an end to you. What will you do now? Sit by the fire and make goslings in the ash?
Not at all. I'll probably write a bit. I could teach you to read.
No! By God!
Master, son Roper, you are pleased with me, I hope.
Sir, you've made a noble gesture.
A gesture? I couldn't go on. It was impossible for me to carry on.
You belittle yourself, sir. This was not practical. This was moral.
Oh, I see. So now morality is not practical. Morality is just a complicated gesture, a gesture that we learn from books. Isn't that what you say, Alice? And you, Meg?
It is for most of us, Father.
Oh, spare me your humility. I have a cruel family. You are cruel.
Oh, yes. You can fit your cap at anyone you want, I know that well enough. But if there's cruelty in this house, I know just where to look for it.
No, Mother.
Oh, you'd walk on the bottom of the sea and think yourself a crab if he suggested it. And you dance him to the tower. You dance him to the block. Poor, silly man. Do you think that they will leave you here to write a bit?
Yes, if we govern our tongues. I have not disobeyed my sovereign. I have resigned, that's all. The king can now grant himself a divorce.
If I'm to lose my station, I want to know the reason why. So make a statement now.
No. Alice, it is a matter of the law. It is a point of the law. My safety is under the law. My silence is a safety under the law. And that silence must be absolute. It must apply to all of you.
In short, you don't trust us.
Sir Thomas, the household in the kitchen, sir, they'd like to know what's going on.
Yes, we must tell them. I mean, most of them will have to go. But not until we've found them places.
We can't find places for them all.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. You must tell them so.
God's death comes on us so quickly. Oh.
What about yourself, Matthew? It'll be a smaller household now. I'm afraid a smaller wage. Will you stay?
I don't see how I can, sir.
Quite. Why should you? I'll miss you, Matthew.
Now, damn me, isn't that just like them? Miss me? What is in me for him to miss? Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, I nearly fell for that, you know. Matthew, will you take a cut in your wages? No, Sir Thomas, I will not, and that is all of it. I nearly did, you know, I nearly fell for that.
Silent. Why not leave him silent?
Not being a man of letters, Your Grace, you perhaps fail to realize the extent of his reputation. This silence of his is bellowing up and down Europe. Now, if I may recapitulate, he informed on the reported the ambassador's conversation, informed on the ambassador's tour of the North Country, and warned of a possible rebellion there.
He did.
Well, in that case, we may say he's shown himself hostile to the hopes of Spain.
That's what I say.
Bear with me, Your Grace. If he opposes Spain, then he supports us. Surely that stands to reason, or do you have some third alternative?
No, that's the line-up, all right. And may I say that Thomas
More will line up on the right side.
Yes, cranky may be, traitory is not.
And with a little pressure, he can be got to say so. And that's all we need, a brief declaration of his loyalty to the present administration.
I still say let sleeping dogs lie.
The king does not agree with you.
What kind of pressure do you think you can bring to bear on him?
Well, I have evidence that during the period of his judicature, Sir Thomas accepted bribes.
What? God damn it, he's the only judge since Cato who didn't accept bribes. When was there last a chancellor whose possessions after 3 years in office totalled £100 in a gold chain?
Richard, it is, as you imply, a common practice, but a practice may be common and still remain an offence, and this offence could send a man to the tower.
I don't believe it.
Richard, you know his Grace, of course?
Well, yes, we're old friends.
Used to look after my books or something, didn't you?
Yeah, come here. This woman's name is Catherine Anger. She's from Lincoln, and she put a case in the court of request.
A property case it was.
Be quiet. property case in the Court of Requests in April 1526.
And got a wicked false judgment.
And got an impeccably correct judgment from our friend Sir Thomas.
No, sir, it was not.
We're not interested in the judgment, but the gift you gave the judge. Now tell His Grace about that.
Oh, sir. Well, sir, I gave him a cup. An Italian silver cup it was, that I bought in Lincoln for 100 shillings.
Did Sir Thomas accept this cup?
Well, I sent it.
He did accept it. We can corroborate that. You may go. Go!
Is that your witness?
No. By an odd coincidence, the cup later came into the hands of Master Rich here.
How?
He gave it to me.
Can you corroborate that?
I have a man outside who can. He was more steward at the time. Shall I call for him?
No, don't bother, I know him. When did Thomas give you this thing?
Oh, I don't exactly remember.
Well, make an effort! Wait, I can tell you. It was that spring. It was that night. We were all there together. You had a cup with you when you left. Was that it?
It may have been.
Did he often give you cups?
I don't suppose so, no.
That was it then. And it was the April. The April of 26, the very month that cow first brought her case before him. In other words, the moment he realised it was a bribe, he got rid of it.
The facts will bear that interpretation, I suppose, Your Grace.
Oh, this is a horse that will not run, Master Secretary.
Merely a trial canter. We'll find something better.
Look, Cromwell, I want no part of this.
You have no choice.
What's that you say?
The king himself wishes you to be active in the matter.
Well, he's not told me that.
Indeed. He told me.
But why?
Well, we feel that since you are known to have been a friend of Moore's, your participation will show that there is nothing in the nature of a persecution, but simply the strict application of law, as indeed you've just demonstrated. I will tell the king of your loyalty to your friend.
Are you threatening me, Cromwell?
My dear Norfolk, this isn't Spain.
I'd forgotten he was there that night.
You really should try to remember these things.
Yes, Secretary.
No, never mind. Not such a fool as he looks, the Duke, is he?
Well, that would hardly be possible.
Yes, I think Sir Thomas is going to be a slippery fish, Rich. We're going to need a net with a finer mesh.
Yes, Secretary.
Weave one for him, shall we, you and I?
I'm only anxious to do what's correct, Secretary.
Yes, of course, Richard. And you're absolutely right, it must be done by law. It's just a matter of finding the right law. Or making one. Or bring my papers, will you?
Could we have a word now, please, sir?
And we're not going to need you after all, Matthew.
No, sir, but it's about...
Oh, yes. Yes, I am going to be in need of a steward now, Matthew. But as I recall, your attitude towards me was sometimes disrespectful.
Oh, well, I don't think you'll find anybody being disrespectful nowadays, sir, will you?
No. Bring my papers. And, Matthew.
Sir?
I will permit not one more breath of insolence from you.
I should hope not, sir. I can handle this one. He's just about my size.
My husband is coming down, Your Excellency.
Thank you, madam.
And I beg you to be gone before he does.
Madam, I have a royal commission to perform.
Aye, you said so.
For sheer barbarity, commend me to a good-hearted Englishwoman of a certain class.
It's very cold, Your Excellency.
Yes, I remember when these rooms were warm enough.
Thus it is to incur the enmity of a prince.
Yes, a heretic prince. Yes, Sir Thomas is a good man.
Yes, I like Sir Thomas very much.
Carefully, carefully.
It's uncomfortable dealing with him.
Well, goodness
isn't
presents
it?
its own difficulties. Attend and learn now.
Excellency, is he really for us?
Well, he's not for Cromwell. We know that much, I think. And if he's not for Cromwell, then he must be for us. There is no third alternative.
Well, I suppose not, Your Excellency.
Oh, I wish your mother had chosen another career for you. You have no political sense whatever.
Excellency. Shh.
Ah, Senor Chapuis. Is this an official visit or personal again?
Well, it falls somewhere between the two, Sir Thomas.
So it's official then?
No, I have a personal letter for you.
Well, from whom?
From King Charles. Will you take it?
No, I will not lay a finger on it.
Well, it is in no way an affair of state. It merely expresses my master's admiration for the stand which you and Bishop Fisher of Rochester have taken in respect of the so-called divorce of Queen Catherine.
I have made no stand.
But, Sir Thomas, your views are well known.
My views are much guessed at. Oh, come on, Senor Chapuis. Can you not undertake to realize that if I was to take this, that the king would not see it as an affair of the state?
Well, look, I have taken every precaution. I've come here very much incognito.
No, you misunderstand me. This is not about the way you dress. This is about my duty. If I was to take that, I would have to take that letter directly to the king.
But, Sir Thomas, your views...
My views are well known. My loyalty is less so.
Look, Father. Will's getting...
Oh,
more.
that's good. That's good. May I? This is a letter from King Charles. It is unopened. I have declined it. You will see that the seal is unbroken.
I'm sure my master's admiration will not be diminished.
I'm gratified.
Come. The man is utterly unreliable.
Alice. Alice, oh, how I wish that we could have taken that money from the church, from the bishops. But I can't.
I didn't think you would.
There are reasons.
And we couldn't know these reasons. Why a man in poverty can't take £4,000?
Alice, this isn't poverty.
Do you know what we shall eat tonight?
Well, yes, parsnips.
Parsnips and stinking mutton. For a knight's lady.
Yes, but it could be worse. We could be beggars and still keep company together and be merry.
Merry?
Aye, merry.
I think you should take that money, Father.
No, I cannot. My writings cannot be seen to be paid for by the church.
This has nothing to do with your writings. This was charity, pure and simple.
Yes, but
collected from the clergy, high and low.
It would appear so.
Oh, you are not a man who deals in appearances.
Am I not? If the king were to take this matter further with myself and with the church, well, it could be very bad, particularly if it seems that I am in the pay of the church.
Bad?
Well, if you would have it, dangerous.
But you don't write against the king.
No, I know, but I write, and that's enough in times like these.
But you said there was no danger.
I don't want there to be. I don't think there is.
Sir Thomas, there's a gentleman here from Hampton Court. You're to go before Secretary Cromwell to answer certain charges.
That's all right. We have been expecting this. When?
Now, sir.
This is just technique. This is just technique. I suppose now means now.
Father, can I go with you?
No. No. I'll come back for dinner. I'll bring Master Cromwell with me. That'll serve him right.
Father, don't be witty.
They say he is a very nimble lawyer.
Cromwell. Yes. He's a pragmatist.
I'm sorry to invite you here at such short notice, Sir Thomas. Good of you to come. I think you know Master Rich.
Oh, yes, we're old friends. That's a nice gown you've got, Richard.
Master Rich will make a record of our conversation.
It's good of you to tell me, Master Cromwell.
Oh, believe me, Sir Thomas. Oh, maybe that's asking a bit much, but I'll tell you anyway. You have no more sincere admirer than myself, Sir Thomas. Not yet, Rich. Not yet.
If you could tell me the charges.
Charges?
I understand there are certain charges.
Oh, some ambiguities of behaviour that I should like to clarify are hardly charges.
Richard, will you write that down? There are no charges.
Sir Thomas, please sit. Sir Thomas, you know, it amazes me that you who were once so effective in the world and are now so very much retired from it should be so opposing yourself to the entire movement of the times.
Yes, it amazes me too.
The king is not pleased with you.
I am grieved.
Yet do you know that even now, if you could bring yourself to agree with the universities, the bishops, and the parliament of this realm, there is no one who the king would be likely to honour than yourself?
I am well acquainted with His Majesty's generosity.
Sir Thomas, there is a charge. For want of a better word.
A charge?
For want of a better word. In the May of 1526, the king published a book, a theological work. It was called A Defence of the Seven Sacraments.
In which he was named Defender of the Faith by His Holiness the Pope.
By the Bishop of Rome. Or do you insist on the Pope?
No, Bishop of Rome is fine. It doesn't alter his authority.
Oh, thank you. You come very readily to the point. What is that authority as regards the church in the rest of Europe? For example, the church in England. What exactly is the Bishop of Rome's authority?
It is very ably set down and defended in the king's own book.
The book you wrote, you mean, to be more precise?
I wrote no part of it.
I do not mean you held the pen.
I merely answered questions on canon law that His Majesty put to me to the best of my ability, as I was bound to do.
Do you deny that you instigated it?
It was from first to last the king's own project. Look, this is trivial, Master Cromwell.
Sir Thomas, I don't think you realise the seriousness of your position.
Only two people know the truth of the matter, myself and the king. And whatever he may have said to you, he will not give evidence.
Why not?
Because in giving evidence, you have to swear on oath, and the king will not perjure himself. If you don't know that, then you don't know the king.
Sir Thomas More, is there anything you wish to say to me concerning the king's divorce, the king's supremacy of the church, or the king's marriage?
I understood that I was not to be asked about this matter.
Evidently you understood wrongly. These charges
are terrors for children.
Then know that the king commands me to charge you in his name with great ingratitude, and to say that there never was, nor never could be, so ungracious a servant, nor so traitorous a subject as yourself.
So I'm brought here at last.
Brought? You brought yourself to where you now stand.
In one way, maybe. But I was brought.
Oh, yes. You may go home now, for the present.
Do you still think you can frighten him?
No, he's misusing his intelligence.
So what are you going to do now, then?
Oh, be quiet. We'll do whatever's necessary. The king's a man of conscience, and he either wants Sir Thomas More to bless his marriage, or Sir Thomas More destroyed. Either one will do.
Well, they do seem odd alternatives, though, Secretary.
Do they? Oh, well, that's because you're not a man of conscience. You see, if the king destroys a man, then it's proof to the king that it must have been a bad man, the kind of man a man of conscience ought to destroy. And of course, bad man's blessings are not worth having. So either will do.
I see.
Well, there's no going back, Rich.
Boat! Can't be as bad as this. Boat! Howard? I can't get home, they won't bring me a boat.
Do you blame them?
Is it as bad as all that?
It's every bit as bad as that.
Well, then it's good of you to be seen with me.
I followed you.
Well, were you followed?
Probably. So listen to what I have to say. You're behaving like a fool. What about your friends?
What about my friends?
God damn it, you're dangerous to know.
Well, then don't know me.
Something further. You must have realized by now there's a policy as regards you. The king is using me in it.
Oh, that's clever. That's Cromwell. Howard, you must cease to know me.
I do know you. I wish I didn't, but I do.
No, I mean as a friend.
You are my friend.
Howard, I can't get you to cease your obedience to the king, but you must cease your friendship with me. These are dangerous times, and you have a son.
You might as well advise a man to change the colour of his hair. I'm fond of you, and there it is.
What's to be done then?
Give in.
Howard, I can't give in. You might as well ask a man to change the colour of his eyes. Our friendship is more mutable than that.
Oh, that's immutable, is it? The one fixed point in a world of changing friendships is that Thomas More will not give in.
I have to, because that's myself. Affection runs as deep in me as in you, but God is only love right through.
And who are you? God damn it, man, it's disproportionate. We're supposed to be the arrogant ones, the proud ones, and we've all given in. Why must you stand out? You'll break my heart.
We'll do it now. We'll part as friends, and we'll meet as strangers.
Why do you want to take your friendship from me?
You're a fool, Norfolk.
You can't force a quarrel. You haven't got the style.
Oh, hear it from me then. You and your class have given in, as you so say, because the religion of this country means nothing to you one way or another. Don't deceive yourself. Our friendship has been a quarrel since the day we met. Our friendship was but sloth.
You can be cruel when you've a mind to be, but I've always known that.
From where you stand, you are going to burn in hell.
You've gone too far, Thomas!
Norfolk! What's all...
Have you told him?
We've been looking for you, Father.
There's been a new act through Parliament, sir.
An act?
Yes, sir. About the marriage.
What about the marriage?
About this act. They're going to administer an oath.
Well, an oath on what compulsion?
It's expected to be treason.
Yes, but what is it about?
It's about the marriage, sir.
Yes, but what are the words?
We don't need to know the words.
Yes, we do. An oath is made of words. You may be able to take it or reject it. Do we have a copy of the bill?
There's one coming from the city.
Let's get home now and have a look at it.
Father, what happened tonight?
I spoke slightingly. Let's get home.
Jailer. It's a job. I mean, pay scale being what it is, they have to take a certain type of common man into the prison service. They'd let him out if they could, but for various reasons they can't. I'd let him out if I could, but I can't. Not without taking up residence in there myself. And he's already in there. So what would be the point? Sorry, sir.
What's the time?
Just struck one, sir.
Oh, this is iniquitous.
Sir?
Who's there?
The secretary, the duke, and the archbishop. Oh, and Master Rich.
I'm honoured.
A chair for the prisoner. This is the 7th Commission to inquire into the case of Sir Thomas More, as appointed by His Majesty's Council. Have you anything to say?
No. Thank you.
Mr. Secretary.
Sir Thomas, do the witnesses attend?
Yes, Secretary.
Sir?
Nearer, come where you can hear. Sir Thomas, you have seen this document before?
Yes, many times before.
It is the Act of Succession, and these are the names of those that have sworn to it.
As you say, I've seen it many times.
Will you swear to it?
No.
Thomas, we
Your
must know...
Grace, please!
Master Cromwell!
I beg your Grace's pardon.
Thomas, we must know plainly whether you recognise the offspring of Queen Anne as heirs to His Majesty.
The King in Parliament tells me they are. Of course I do.
Will you swear that you do?
Well, yes.
Then why won't you swear to the Act?
Because there is more than that in the Act.
Well, is that it?
Yes.
Then we must find out what is in the Act that he objects to.
Brilliant.
Your Grace, may I try?
Certainly, I have no pretension to be an expert in police work.
Sir Thomas, it states in the preamble that the King's former marriage to the Lady Catherine was unlawful, she previously being his brother's wife and the Pope having no authority to sanction it. Is that what you deny? Is that what you dispute? Is that what you are not sure of?
Thomas, you insult the King and his council in the person of the Lord Archbishop.
I insult no one. I will not take the oath, and I will not tell you why I will not.
Then your reasons must be treasonable.
No, not must be, maybe.
Well, it's a fair assumption.
The law requires more than assumption. The law requires fact.
I cannot judge your legal standing in this case, but until I know the ground of your objections, I can only guess at your spiritual standing too.
If you are prepared to guess that, my lord, then it is a little matter to guess my objections.
You do have objections.
Yeah, well, we know that, Cromwell.
No, you do not. You suppose that I do. All you know is that I will not swear the oath, and you do not know why I will not.
Is it material?
It is most material. For not swearing the oath, my goods have been forfeit, and I have been punished by imprisonment. The law cannot harm me any further. But if you were to suppose that I did have reasons, and if you were, again, to suppose that those reasons were treasonable, then the law would let you cut off my head.
Oh, yes.
Oh, well done, Sir Thomas. I've been trying to make that clear to His Grace for some time.
Oh, confound all this. I'm not a scholar as Master Cromwell here never tires of pointing out, and frankly, I don't know whether the marriage was lawful or not. But damn it, Thomas, look at those names. You know those men. Can't you do what I did and come with us for fellowship?
When you stand in paradise and you are led, when you stand before God and you are led to paradise for doing according to your conscience, and I am damned for not doing according to my own, will you come with me for fellowship?
So those of us whose names are there are damned, Sir Thomas?
I don't know, Your Grace. I condemn no one. I do not have a window into another man's conscience. But what I do know is I have no doubt of my own grounds.
No doubts about what?
My own grounds for not signing the oath. Grounds which I will share with the king and king alone, and which you, Master Secretary, will not trick out of me.
Thomas!
Oh, gentlemen, please, can I go to bed?
You don't seem to appreciate the seriousness of your position.
I defy anyone to be in that cell for a year and not appreciate the seriousness of his position.
Yet the state has harsher punishments.
You threaten like a dockside bully.
And how should I threaten?
Like a minister of state. With justice.
Oh, justice is what you are threatened with.
No. I am not threatened.
Mr. Secretary, I think we might let the prisoner retire as he requests, unless you, my lord...
I see no need in prolonging the interview.
Then, good night, Thomas.
Might I have one or two more books?
You have books?
Yes.
I didn't know. You shouldn't have.
Can I see my family?
No. Jailer?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever heard the prisoner speak about the king's divorce, or the king's supremacy of the church, or the king's marriage?
No, sir, not a word.
Well, if he does, then you will, of course, report it to the lieutenant.
Certainly, sir.
And you will swear an oath to that effect?
Absolutely, sir.
Archbishop?
Place this at your left. Raise your right hand. Take your hat off. I swear by my immortal soul.
I swear by my mortal soul.
That I will truly report anything.
That I will truly report anything.
Said by Sir Thomas.
Said by Sir Thomas.
Against the king or his council.
Or his council.
So help me God.
So help me
Amen.
God. Amen.
And there's 50 guineas in it if you do.
Yes, sir.
That is not to tempt you into perjury, my man.
No, sir. $50 guineas isn't tempting. 50 guineas is alarming. I mean, that's serious money. And if it's worth that much now, it's worth my neck presently. I don't want no part of this. I feel a deafness coming on.
Rich?
Yes, Secretary?
Tomorrow morning I want you to remove the prisoner's books.
Yes, Secretary.
Is that necessary?
Norfolk, as regards this case, the king is becoming impatient.
Aye, with you.
With all of us. You know the king's impatience and how commodious it is?
Master Secretary, the Attorney General for Wales has retired and his post is vacant. You said I might approach you.
Not now.
Oh.
He must submit. The alternatives are bad. While Moore's alive, the king's conscience breaks into fresh stinking flowers each time he gets from bed. And if I bring about Moore's death, I plant my own, I fear. He must submit!
Wake up, Sir Thomas. Your family's here.
What?
Good morning, Father.
Margaret, you can see me. Good morning, Alice. Good morning, Will.
Husband, how do you do?
As well as needs be. This place, yes, I know. Except that it keeps me separated from you. It's not all that bad.
It drips.
Yes. It's too near the river.
We brought you some things, Father. A cheese. And
cheese.
A custard.
Custard.
And we got you a bottle of wine, sir. Sir, come out. Swear to the act. Take the oath and come out.
Is that why they've let you come?
Yes. Meg's under oath to persuade you.
Silly Meg. What made you do that?
I wanted to.
So you want me to swear the act of succession?
God more regards the thoughts of the heart than the words of your mouth. So you've always told me.
Yes.
So say the words of the act, but in your heart think otherwise.
An oath is words that we say to God. When a man takes an oath, he's holding his own self in his own hands. Like water, if he opens them, then he may not find himself. Not many men are capable of that. I would be loath to think that you thought I was one of them.
In any state that was half good, you'd be raised up high for what you've already done. Not here. It's not your fault the state is 3/4 bad, but if you elect to suffer for it, you elect yourself a hero.
No. That's neat. But look now. We see that all human sinfulness and stupidity profits far more than humility, justice, and thought. We have to make a choice. We have to stand fast just a little, even at the risk of being heroes.
But in reason! Haven't you done as much as God could reasonably
It is not a matter of reason. It's a matter of love.
You are content, then, to be shut up here with the mice and rats, when you might be home with us?
Content. If they opened up a gap just that big, I would be through it.
I've not yet told you what the house is like without you, Father.
Don't, Meg.
We sit in the darkness because we have no candles. And we have no talk because we're worried about what they're doing to you here.
The king is more merciful. He doesn't use the rack.
2 minutes to go, sir. I thought you'd like
No,
to know.
jailer. Will, look. Go to him. Take something. Distract him.
How, sir?
Play dice. Distract him. Take that to him. Look. You must leave the country. All of you. You must leave the country.
I leave you here.
It makes no difference. They won't let you see me again.
After the trial,
There's
then.
going to be no trial. They have no case. Meg, I beseech you.
Yes.
Alice, I command it.
Right.
That's a nice dress you're wearing.
It's my cooking dress.
Alice, it's a nice colour.
My God. You think so very little of me. I know I'm a fool, but I'm no such fool at this time as to be lamenting for my dresses.
I am well rebuked. Alice.
No!
I faint when I think of the worst that they could do to me. And yet, worse still would be to go without you understanding why I go.
I don't!
Alice, I think if you tell me that you understand, I think I can make a good death of it, if I have to.
Your death is no good to me.
Meg, Alice, you must tell me that you understand.
I don't. I don't believe this has to happen.
Alice, you have to say that you understand, otherwise I don't think I can face it.
Well, I don't. It's the truth.
You must.
I'll tell you what I'm afraid of. That when you're gone, I shall hate you for it.
You mustn't. You must. Mustn't.
As for understanding, I understand. You are the best man I ever met, or am ever likely to. And if you go, well, God knows why, I suppose, but as God's my witness, God's kept deadly quiet about it. And if anybody wants my opinion of the king and his council, they've only got to ask for it.
It's a liar I am married. Look, you must take this to Bishop Fisher. They've got him up in the upper gallery.
It's for you, not Bishop Fisher.
Oh, that's very clever. I know what you're up to, sir.
It's not the minute, man.
No, I know exactly what you're up to.
Right, what's going?
No.
James,
Time's up, sir. Time's up.
Just one more minute.
You must understand my position here.
We're not
Come along, sir. Come along.
Right, my lady. You are going to have to leave. We cannot have this. You
come along.
Your husband's going to get someone to. You do not know. Your husband's being what? You really know. You cannot. You must come with me. You need to come with me, lady. You are going to go to. We don't know how to do. Go.
Alice, farewell, my love.
You got to understand my position, sir. There's nothing I can do.
Foreman of the jury,
Yes, sir.
does the cap fit?
Yes, sir.
The court to be seated. Sir Thomas More, you are called before us here at the Hall of Westminster to answer a charge of high treason. Nevertheless, and though you have heinously offended the King's Majesty, we hope that even now, if you will forethink and repent of your obstinate opinions, you may still taste his gracious pardon.
My lords, I thank you. Howbeit I make my petition to Almighty God, that he will keep me in this my most honest mind, till the last hour that I shall live. As for the matters that you charge me with, I fear that in my present weakness, neither my wit nor my memory will serve to make sufficient answer. I should be glad to sit down.
Be seated. Master Secretary Cromwell, have you the charge?
I have, my lord.
Then read the charge.
It is the same charge, Sir Thomas, that was brought before Bishop Fisher. The late Bishop Fisher, I should have said.
Late?
Bishop Fisher was executed this morning.
Master Secretary, read the charge.
That you did conspire traitorously and maliciously to deny and deprive our sovereign Lord Henry of his undoubted certain title, Supreme Head of the Church in England.
I have never denied this title.
You refused the oath tendered to you in the Tower and elsewhere.
But silence is not denial, and for my silence I have been punished by imprisonment. Why have you been called here again?
To answer a charge of high treason, Sir Thomas.
For which the punishment is not imprisonment.
Death comes for us all, my lord, even for kings.
Treason enough here.
Death of kings is not in question, Sir Thomas.
And nor is mine until I am proven guilty.
Your life lies in your own hands, Thomas. It always has.
Our deaths, my lord, yours and mine. Dare we to enter the kingdom with such ease when our Lord himself entered with so much pain?
Now, Sir Thomas, you stand upon your silence.
I do.
The gentlemen of the jury, there are many types of silence. Consider the circumstances of the prisoner's silence. The oath was put to good and faithful subjects up and down the country, and they had declared that his Grace's title was just and good. And when it came to the prisoner, he refused. He caused this silence. Yet, is there a man in this court, is there a man in this country who does not know Sir Thomas More's opinion of that title? Of course not. But how can this be? Because this silence betokened, nay, this silence was not silence at all, but most eloquent denial.
Not so, Master Secretary. The maxim of the law is that silence gives consent. Therefore, if you want to construe what my silence betokened, you must construe that I consented and that I did not deny.
Is that, in fact, what the world construes from it? Do you pretend that that is what you wish the world to construe from it?
The world must construe according to its wits, but this court must construe according to the law.
My lords, I put it to the court that the prisoner is perverting the law, making smoky that which should be a clear light to determine to the court his own wrongdoing.
The law is not a light for you or for anyone to see by. The law is not an instrument of any kind. The law is a causeway upon which, so long as he walks the right way, a citizen may walk safely. In matters of conscience...
Ah, the conscience, the conscience!
This word is not familiar to you.
Oh, by God, too familiar. I am very used to hearing it in the mouths of criminals.
I am used to hearing bad men misuse the name of God. And yet God exists. In the matters of conscience, the loyal subject is more beholden to act according to his own conscience than to anything else.
And so provide a noble motive for his own frivolous self-conceit.
Not so, Master Secretary. but for pure and necessity of respect of his own soul.
Your own self, you mean?
My soul is myself. If my king asks for the truth, do I give him lies? Are you helping England by populating her with liars?
My lords, I wish to call Sir Richard Rich.
Sir Richard Rich.
I swear by my immortal soul.
I swear by my immortal soul that the evidence I shall give before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So help me God, Sir Richard.
So help me God.
Take your stand there, Sir Richard.
Now, Master Rich, on the 12th of March, you were at the Tower.
I was.
With what purpose?
I was sent to carry away the prisoner's books.
Did you speak with the prisoner?
I did.
Did you talk about the king's supremacy of the church?
Yes.
And what did you say?
I said to him, supposing there were an act of parliament to say that I, Sir Richard Rich, should be king, would not you, Master More, take me to be king? That I would, he said, for then you would be king.
Yes.
Then he said...
The prisoner?
Yes, my lord. Then he said, I shall put you a higher case. How if Parliament were to pass an act to say that God is not God?
And then, that's right, and then
Get
you
silence! Continue.
I said, I shall put you a middle case. Parliament has made our king head of the church. Why will you not accept him?
Well?
He said that Parliament did not have the authority to make our king the head of the church.
Repeat the prisoner's words.
He said that Parliament did not have the competence, or words to that effect.
He denied the title.
He did.
By faith, Richard, I am sorrier for your perjury than for my own peril.
Do you deny this?
Why, yes, my lord. If I were a man who did not behold the taking of an oath, as you well know, I need not to be here. But now I will take an oath. If what Master Rich says is true, then I pray that I will never see God in the face.
That is not evidence.
Is it probable that after such a long period of silence, the very point so very urgently sought after me, I should open my mind to one such as that?
Do you wish to modify your testimony?
No, I do not.
There were two other men, Southwell and Palmer.
Yes. Unfortunately, Sir Richard Southwell and Master Palmer are in Ireland on the king's business. They state that, being busy with the prisoner's books, they did not hear what was said.
If I had said this, would it have not been obvious that you would have immediately called these two men to give witness?
Do you have anything to add?
No.
Sir Thomas?
To what purpose? I am a dead man. You have your desire of me. For what you have hunted me for has not been my actions, but the thoughts of my heart. It's a very long road that you have opened. For first men will disclaim their hearts. Presently, they will have no hearts. I feel sad for the people whose leaders like you walk that road.
The witness may withdraw.
May I ask the witness a question? That's a chain of office you are wearing. Can I see it? The Red Dragon. What is this?
Sir Richard is appointed Attorney General for Wales.
For Wales? Why, Richard, profit not a man anything to give his soul for the whole world. But for Wales.
Now, if I may beg the court's indulgence, I have a message for the prisoner from the king. Sir Thomas, I am empowered to tell you that even now...
No.
If you...
It cannot be.
My lords, the case rests.
The jury will retire and consider the evidence.
Considering the evidence, it shouldn't be necessary for them to retire. Is it necessary?
Then is the prisoner guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, sir.
Prisoner at the bar, you have been found guilty on the charge of
My
high
lord, when I was practicing the law, it was the manner to ask the prisoner if he had anything to say before pronouncing the sentence.
Well, have you anything to say?
Yes. To avoid this, I have taken every path my winding wits could take. But now that the court is determined to condemn me, God knoweth how, I will disclose my mind on my indictment and also the king's status. The indictment is grounded in an act of parliament which is directly repugnant to the law of God. The king cannot bestow the supremacy of the church because it is a spiritual supremacy. And more to that, the immunity of the church is promised not only in the Magna Carta, but also in the king's own coronation oath.
Now we plainly see you are malicious.
No, not so, Master Secretary. I am the king's true subject. I pray for the king and all the realm. I do none harm. I say none harm. I think none harm. And if this not be enough to keep a man alive, then by faith I long not to live. What you have sought my blood for has not been for the supremacy, but because I would not bend to the marriage.
Prisoner at the bar, you have been found guilty on the charge of high treason. The sentence of this court is that you shall be taken from this court to the Tower, thence to the place of execution, and there your head shall be stricken from your body, and may God have mercy on your soul. I can come with you no further, Thomas. Here, drink this.
My lord, had Iselan gall not wine given to him. No, I must be going.
How can I do this to you?
Margaret,
How can I do this to you?
Margaret, be at peace. This is the law of God and the will of nature. Trouble not yourself. Be at peace. I know that you know the desire of my heart.
Sir Thomas. Remember me, Sir Thomas? When you were Chancellor, you brought a false judgment against me. Remember that now?
Woman, see how I am occupied. Yes, I remember your matter well. And were I have to call judgment again, I would not alter anything. Be on your ways. Trouble me not.
For shame! Take courage, good man!
Your Grace, go back. I beseech you.
Friend, do not be afraid of your office. Send me to God.
You're very sure of that, Sir Thomas?
My God will not refuse one who is so willing to go to him.
Thomas Cromwell was found guilty of high treason and executed on the 26th of July, 1540. Norfolk was found guilty of high treason and should have been executed on the 27th of January, 1547. But on the night of the 26th, the king died and they couldn't sign the warrant. Thomas Cranmer, that's the other one, was burnt alive on the 21st of March, 1556. Oh, and Richard Rich became a knight and solicitor general, a baron and Lord Chancellor, if you please. Died in his bed. And so did I. And so I hope do all of you. Good night.